WWE Raw this week was something of a baffling show, with decisions made before the show and during the show that were clearly aimed at strengthening a WrestleMania card and kind of forgetting about Fastlane. A number of times they skipped over the pay-per-view entirely or failed to announce matches while also mentioning them in promos. I'm Tom Colohue and I'll be giving you a full Raw review as well as some news on Bad Bunny and planned ticket sales for WrestleMania in this review. Please remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. WWE opened Raw with the announcement that our main event of WrestleMania, at least for the planned Night 1 main event, would be Bobby Lashley defending his new WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. The idea of having a last man standing match between McIntyre and Sheamus at Fastlane for the number 1 contendership has apparently been thrown out of the window. With this in mind, Bobby Lashley opened the show and cut a promo that, at times, when you consider the other factors involved over the course of it, came very close to parody. The Miz and John Morrison would come down first, Drew McIntyre would come down, ignore the Miz and then realise the Miz was still there, and as Bobby Lashley left, leaving McIntyre and the Miz to get into a bit of a scrap, Sheamus attacked Bobby Lashley and afterwards challenged him to a match at the end of the night. Why they have any beef, I have no idea. Our opening match was Drew McIntyre versus The Miz, and it's good to see that Drew McIntyre remembers who actually took the WWE Championship from him. I was worried over the last couple of weeks that wouldn't happen. Even after already taking a beating, Drew McIntyre naturally got the win over The Miz, about as clean as you like, but it did take him a while longer than I initially expected it would. Drew McIntyre did not look particularly dominant here, and that's a running theme throughout the show. The Miz, however, did do the job again, and ultimately when it comes to the work of Bad Bunny, The Miz clearly promised a WWE Championship run in exchange for the upcoming WrestleMania tag match. We had another honestly quite terrible promo segment between Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. Braun did his part even though he apparently cut most of his promo during the commercial break. Shane, however, stumbled across his words all over the place. Braun tried to contextualise it, saying, "Oh, you're scared of me, that's why you were messing up all your lines last week." It didn't work because Shane continued to mess up his lines and in fact challenged Braun Strowman to a match. Interesting. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose defeated Lana and Naomi. Lana and Naomi seem to be on the way down the card, as if that's really possible in this current division. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were at ringside, Reginald was not, and Asuka did make her return during this segment to essentially pick a fight and beat up Shayna Baszler. There will be more on that later. In a match that lasted just under 15 minutes, the New Day regained the WWE Raw Tag Team titles from the Hurt Business in a match that was extremely high quality. Very fast paced, very athletic, and just all times a lot going on, including some counters from suicide dives. Very cleverly done. Kofi really smashing through some ring steps, a kick out of the SOS, and just some wonderful actual teamwork and action. It's interesting seeing the Hurt Business in this particular situation when you consider that they did not come down with MVP and Lashley, and they are rarely seen as a group anymore. Immediately after this, the Hurt Business were forgotten about entirely, just completely and entirely, as AJ Styles and Omos came down to challenge the New Day to a tag team championship match. You'd think it would be a Fastlane. Nope, WrestleMania. There's a reason for this. They aren't expecting they'll be able to sell as many tickets as they want to, which by the way is an ever increasing number, without actually having a few matches actually booked for the card. Bad Bunny gave R-Truth the 24/7 championship back in exchange for a smoking skull belt which he did not bring down to the ring with him later in the night. It seems like Bad Bunny is not there to take bumps or in fact take roll-ups, definitely protected in this particular finish, but if we're going to have a match, Bad Bunny's going to have to be able to take some bumps, and we do see that later on in the night. In comparison to last week when Elias and Damian Priest went on for far too long, Damian Priest beat Jackson Ryker in about 30 seconds. Good to see. Good to see. Afterwards, The Miz attacked Bad Bunny from behind with Elias's guitar. The guitar did not break, and I suspect Bad Bunny was wearing a lot of padding for this particular bump, but he sold it like a champ. In fact, in the build-up to this, he also threw a punch. It wasn't great, but we are just starting, to be fair. Benefit of the doubt and all that. Shane McMahon beat up Braun Strowman with a camera, hit an elbow drop to put him through an announce table, and then painted him green. Braun Strowman has fallen very far since losing the Universal Championship. Asuka beat the ever-living hell out of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. As much as I don't like seeing Shayna Baszler lose as much as she has recently, This one I enjoyed. The WWE did more for Asuka in one night than they have done in the past 12 months. Ali had a United States Championship match against Matt Riddle, however this time he was not able to pick up the win, Retribution essentially distracting the referee for a visible free count that Ali would have won the championship with, leading into a loss for Mustafa Ali. That's a difficult situation for him, and he did lay into Retribution afterwards. I suspect they may run this back at Fastlane without Retribution there, but Ali would probably still lose. This Sunday at Fastlane, we are going to see Alexa Bliss against Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss laid down the challenge Randy Orton seemed to accept. Didn't expect this. I'd imagine we're going to see The Fiend again. Drew McIntyre came down to ringside to sit ringside for Sheamus versus Bobby Lashley. It was a non-title match. However, Bobby Lashley did still pick up the win. This match was not up to the standard of the Sheamus McIntyre matches we've had. It was still very physical, very aggressive, but a lack of seeming chemistry and a lot of rest holds really slowed this match down for me personally. Lashley, however, did still stand tall at the end, and it's interesting going forwards that Sheamus looks like he's going to lose again at Fastlane to Drew McIntyre to keep McIntyre strong going into WrestleMania. Sheamus has had a very rough time recently, but he's at least in very prominent positions. As Raws go, this was okay. The wrestling quality, particularly the tag title match and the United States Championship match, was very, very good, and we had 2 more matches booked for WrestleMania and 2 more matches booked for Fastlane. Well, sorry, 3 more matches booked for Fastlane when you consider the match that won't happen between Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. Essentially, WWE built the cards they needed. It just all came at such a slapdash pace that nothing felt like you could even stop and take a breath. It was a very difficult show to keep up with at times, especially given that I was watching on Twitch as a watch along and couldn't always hear every word of the promo because I'd be talking to the audience with me. Lashley and McIntyre continued to look good but not necessarily dominant. Meanwhile, we've at last finally seen some motion forwards with Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton, but it seems as though we've always been waiting for The Fiend to return. It just seems to have taken longer and longer and longer. I'm glad to see we are finally at the point where that might actually happen. There was also a number of big name stars missing, most notably Charlotte Flair, but also Jeff Hardy, Keith Lee, none of them present this week. Interesting to find out where Charlotte may or may not be in the coming days and what her storyline going forward will be, because it looks like she will still be going against Asuka at WrestleMania. We've only a few weeks left to go until the show of shows. It's about time they actually gave us some matches. It is long overdue. The WWE needs to sort this mess out and fast. Let me know what you liked or didn't like about Raw down in the comments. Please do remember to click like and click subscribe if you haven't already. That's a big help in helping me grow and I very much appreciate it. And stay tuned for the end of this video where I will have in the cards at the end a link to a news video about the WWE ticket sale issue for WrestleMania. I've been Tom Colohue and thank you very much for watching.